What's up everybody, it's Matt with First Line Gunworks. Today I'm going to go over the Cerakote process a little bit. So first, you want to start by taking your gun apart. Whether it be a gun, a part, whatever it may be, sunglasses, you want to make sure that it's fully disassembled. That way you can ensure all the oils will get out of the part, and you put it in the acetone tank first. You want to do this for about an hour. I usually do sometimes overnight depending on the part. If it's a fully steel part, sometimes oil likes to sit in small areas and it takes a little bit to get all of the oil out. After you take it out of the acetone, then you want to sandblast it. I sandblast my stuff at about, I'd say 40 psi in my Harbor Freight sandblasting cabinet with 100 grit garnet. You want to do like plastic pieces and anodized pieces at about 40 psi. With steel pieces, you want to do about 80 to 90 psi, and this is to make sure you get a good etch on your material. Now, with things like anodization, you don't have to take all the anodizing off. You just have to rough it up a little bit. So after you sandblast it, then you put it in the oven for what's called a gas out. This takes about an hour at 300 degrees, 180 degrees for plastics and polymers. And then once you do that for about an hour, you want to take it out and inspect it to see if there's any oils or residue or anything left on there. If so, then you have to do that process all over again. Now, after you are all oil free and want to let the part cool for 10 or 15 minutes till it's cool to the touch. Obviously you're wearing gloves at this point because you don't want to get any oils on the part. After that, then you're able to spray. You want to mix your hardener with your Cerakote. I do it by weight at my little station over here. That way you get the most accurate measurements, and you're able to, it actually helps give its max results from what I understand. So after you mix it up, you pour it through a strainer, and then you use your HPLV gun. I use an Iwata. Those are about $300 give or take a piece. They're really nice guns. I've used Harbor Freight guns before, but they don't spray as well as the Iwatas. So then after you spray it, you want to let it hang for about 10 or 15 minutes to let all the solvents in the Cerakote kind of dissipate out. After that, then you put it in the oven. Depending on the part, metal, you can do 300 degrees for an hour. If it's a lighter color, I suggest 250 degrees for 2 hours. If it's a polymer piece, 180 degrees for about 2.5 hours. And then if you're doing multiple layers such as stencils, anything like that, you want to make sure that you flash cure it for 15 minutes, give or take 10 to 15 minutes for about 180 degrees is what I've noticed for my oven. I hand made my oven out of an ammo can and an old gun cabinet. It seems to work pretty well for me. I insulated it. I wired up the PID controller for it. But then after you put it in the oven, and in between, like I said, in between each color, you're gonna have to do a flash cure before you put the next color on, or the stencil or whatever. And at the end of all the stencil work, if you're doing stencils, you want to give it one more flash cure for a little bit longer, take all your stencils off, and then final cure it for that either 300 degrees for an hour or 250 degrees for 2 hours. Or you have to play around with it a little bit. I've noticed different colors require different techniques for as far as curing goes. There's a lot of information out there on the forums and Facebook groups and things like that. But I just wanted to give you a little rundown today on how extensive the Cerakote process is. All right, last thing. I hope this kind of helps you guys understand what goes into Cerakoting and stuff like that. If you have any custom work that you would like done, just drop us a line on our Facebook, Instagram, or website. I plan on making more content in the future, so if you're interested and you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment, let me know what you want to see. I could do like an EDC kind of video. I could do a video going over stippling. I could, if you guys are interested, just drop a line, let me know. Thanks.